Dice them, it gives you real minty bread.
I've already contacted another investigator to help me find the boy and his mother.
I thought we've talked about this before.
And I made it clear that I want to find the boy and his mom so I can get their blessings. This is what I live for.
Oh. Is this all that matters to you? Not even the engagement of our son tomorrow?
Well, okay. You know that's not what I meant.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me. And in any case, why are we talking about this?
We are talking about this because it is important to me. I want to undo the evil done years back before I joined my ancestors. Why is this so difficult to understand?
All right. I hope your new private investigator finds Abike and her son. Now, can I eat my chips in peace?
Sorry means nothing coming from you, Max. If you don't cancel that engagement by tomorrow, I'll be obliged to tell Megan and family about us.
Not on your life, Regina.
Hell had no fury like a woman's scorn. I'm sure you've heard that before. At this point, nothing else matters to me. Not you, not our relationship, and certainly not your damn family.
Be truly in your arms is the key to my heart. Please believe me completely that I'm breathing to the beat of your heart. So if it's me you're searching for, I'm yours forevermore. Let me love you more, always. You were all I needed more.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Hello. There's no gainsaying the fact that keeping local industries viable is key to the growth of any economy. And on this premise, we are anchoring tonight's edition of Weekend File, your weekend companion. Good evening and welcome to the show. Now, let's get started. A critical analysis of Nigeria's economic indicators by experts shows that there is a cause to worry and that there is an urgent need to address issues affecting patronage of homemade goods and promotion of the manufacturing sector. They say it is important to undertake a comprehensive assessment of local industries and their products, plus a review of the existing tariff structure that will protect local industries and attract investment. Now, major manufacturing industries in Nigeria include food, textiles, ceramics, footwear, chemicals, fertilizer, printing, shipbuilding and repairs, and of course steel industries. As reported by the Business Trade and Investment Guide of 2015 and 2016, manufacturing contributed 6.616 billion naira of the GDP. The report further noted that some industries attracted domestic and international investments between 2000 and 2010, but that over 850 manufacturing companies had either shut down or temporarily halted production. Our investigation shows that Nigerian consumers patronize imported cheap products, especially textiles, rather than locally made ones with high prices. But they choose the imported materials whether the standard is up to date or not. And they say this is what actually brought about the collapse of textile industries in the first place. It is now understandable why local players call for intervention and some form of protectionism through a higher tariff. Tonight, we will put all these into proper perspective to appreciate the phenomenal reality of the situation and the way forward. My name is Kirian Umayo. The news always comes first. Two female suicide bombers who attempted to enter a mosque in Jumuduri village near Maiduguri during early morning prayers, but intercepted, died when one of the bombers detonated her impoverished explosive device strapped to her body. A statement by Abdulkadir Ibrahim, Information Minister, NEMA Northeast, says officials detonated the unexploded IED, which caused the second loud blast around the mosque close to the Federal High Court Judiciary Polo Ground. The remains of the suicide bombers have been evacuated. Now, the federal government has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to finding solutions to Borno IDPs returning from other countries. We will bring you details of this report in the course of this bulletin. Now, moving ahead now, over 6,000 pupils from schools in insurgency-affected communities in Yobe State that are back to the classroom are receiving educational intervention from the Victim Support Fund. Already, the VSF Educational Support Project has distributed thousands of books, bags, and other instructional materials as the school system gradually picks up with people returning to their communities. Mustafa Yusuf Musa reports.
Since its creation in the year 2014, the Victim Support Fund has been providing support to victims of Boko Haram insurgency in the northeastern region and Yobe State in particular. During the launch of distribution of educational support project to pupils of primary schools, the executive director of the fund, Professor Sunday Ochoche, said after the symbolic presentation, up to 6,000 pupils have been earmarked to receive books, bags, pencils, sandals, among other instructional materials.
In a couple of weeks, we'll be back to Yobe, specifically to Bunyadi, to flag off the reconstruction of Bunyadi. And in this, we shall be reconstructing the local government secretariat in Bunyadi, the general hospital in Bunyadi, a number of schools.
The representative of the Commissioner of Education, Hajia Fatima Achama, said such intervention is needed at this time, especially rural schools where teaching and learning activities is picking up following destruction by Boko Haram activities. In Damaturu, Mustafa Yusuf Musa, NTA News.
Now, back to the story on the refugees returning from outside Nigeria. The federal government has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to finding solutions to Borno IDPs returning from neighboring countries. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Sadia Omar Farouk, made this known during the distribution of relief materials at the Commission's warehouse in Maiduguri. Pauline Kuje, Vanna reports.
The gradual return of Borno displaced persons from the neighboring countries of Cameroon, Chad and Niger Republic shows the state is approaching post-insurgency and recovery stage, which calls for more support and assistance to the victims.
Ones that are being repatriated back, forcefully, and these are the ones that are of major concern to us that we feel we should step in and assist. We've been intervening in so many areas of food and non-food items, as well as in the areas of durable solutions.
According to the Federal Commissioner Sadia Umar Farouk, the progress made in winning the war against insurgency is promising and possible to restore Borno's lost glory, adding that the federal government will not relent in assisting those affected by the calamity. Items donated are mainly foodstuffs such as rice, millet, beans, and guinea corn, more than 500 bags of each. In Medjugorje, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Now, more than 78,000 candidates participated in the 2017 Common Entrance Examination into the 104 unity colleges across the Federation. Education Minister Adamu, who monitored the exercise in Abuja, expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct, especially in the 3 northeast states. Franka Uzoma Olwa has that report.
This year's Common Entrance Examination took place in 598 centers nationwide and 1 foreign center in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Lagos State recorded the highest enrollment with 24,816 candidates, while Kebbi State had 62 as the lowest number of pupils registered. Education Minister Adamu monitored the conduct of the examination in 2 centers in Abuja.
It depends on their performance. And then their performance will determine what cut-off point will be put and then how many we are going to admit.
For the 3 states of the Northeast, examination centers were restricted to urban areas.
Last year, a number of state governors, the state governments paid for this exam, for our children. But this year, a good number of them couldn't do that.
Meanwhile, JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede has apologized to candidates and stakeholders for the technical hitches recorded in the conduct of the free and voluntary mock examination across the country.
Instead of the earlier announced April 19, the deadline for the sale of forms and registration will now extend to Friday, May 5, 2017. The examination proper has also been postponed to start Saturday 13th to 28th of May, Saturday 2017.
He explains that the board system analysis has revealed findings that will ensure a seamless and successful 2017 UTME exercise slated to hold next month. Franka Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
More on education, the Governing Council of the University of Abuja, under the leadership of late Dr. Samuel Obomudia, has been able to bring back the lost glory in the institution, which is now ranked 9th from 60 when the council resumed 4 years ago. Speaking at the media briefing to mark the end of 4-year tenure of the council, the spokesperson, Professor Ediga Abo, said late Dr. Samuel Obomudia provided purposeful leadership which contributed to restoring peace and industrial harmony in the university. He said until recently, the university was engulfed in crisis that made NUC to distribute students to various universities in the country to conclude their programs.
When we came in, there were 42 courses available in the university at that time. Only 3 of them had some form of accreditation. Today, we are leaving the university with 53 programs. 28 of them have full accreditation. The remaining 23, some of them have interim. Late General Obomudia stood out clearly as an exceptional leader.
Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports that the university was established on the 1st of January 1988. The people of Bakassi in Cross River State have reassured the Buhari administration of their confidence in his style of leadership, especially towards addressing the plight of the common man and the people at the grassroots level. In this connection, the Bakassi indigenes have pledged their unalloyed support and cooperation to the federal government in its giant stride to curb corruption menace in the country and in reviving the economy for functional development of the people. This came to the fore when a former presidential advisor and PDP stalwart, Senator Florence Itagewa, formally declared for the All Progressives Congress, APC. Senator Itagewa joins the party with several other supporters in Bakassi local government area of Cross River State. According to the senator, this was because of her firm belief in the seriousness and focus of the APC government in addressing all issues of national importance that will take Nigeria to greater heights. This threat, Senator Itagiwa expressed, could be seen from the stability of the APC as a party with great democratic tenets.
In a very, very stable party to, foster unity in this country, to help in development of this country, and to help in the sustenance of this country, because there's still a lot more to do. And of course, to ensure that women participate.
The people of Bakassi say the event marks a turning point for them, as they are optimistic that their resettlement will receive better attention by the government. Nasarawa State Government and Foreco Technology Solution have signed a memorandum of understanding for effective collection and remittance of taxes into the state's account. The State Deputy Governor Salas Agara, who supervised the signing and exchange of documents, charged the Minister of Finance, Board of Internal Revenue Service, and Foreco Technology Solution to be transparent in the discharge of their duties. Abari Solomon completes the report.
Following the dwindling fortune of the nation's economy, Nasarawa State Government is looking inward to boost its internally generated revenue to enable it to deliver on its mandate in the face of the current financial challenges being faced nationwide. One of such is the engagement of the consulting firm Foreco Technology Solution that specializes on revenue collection and auditing.
This MOU, the prime motivation towards it is towards impacting positively to the IGR of this great state.
Nasarawa State Deputy Governor Silas Agara, who chaired the meeting, said Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura's-led administration is determined to turn around the fortune of the state by exploring all necessary avenues aimed at improving the lives of the ordinary citizens of the state. He said the consultants are expected to embark on taxpayer identification, enumeration of development taxpayer database, and implementation of an efficient internal control mechanism for the state through the use of modern technology, and warn against corruption and other negative tendencies.
It is our expectation that from your relationship with those federal government agencies, and including those doing business within Karo and other major towns in Nasarawa State, certainly you will to track their activities and remit same to the coffers of the state.
The Memorandum of Understanding signed between Nasarawa State Government and the Foreco Technology Solution is expected to last for 5 years. In Lafia, Abari Solomon, NTA News.
And one of Nigeria's major oil marketers, MRS, has taken bold steps to expand the scope of maritime subsector in oil marketing and distribution in the country. This was evident when the company inaugurated its newly acquired 60,000 tonnage vessel capable of accommodating the vessel and maritime facilities in Lagos. Lynn Leneke has more on that.
Inauguration of the expanded and upgraded terminal into a shipping arena was a deliberate move by MRS Holdings Limited to check sharp practices in oil marketing and distribution in the country. According to MRS official, the newly acquired vessel with 60,000 tonnage capacity is expected to address incessant shortages in petroleum product circulation and regulate pricing.
And for every day that the vessel is waiting, it's costing money. And you have to remember that the monies that are paid to vessel owners are foreign exchange.
With the present capability of berthing vessels of this size, the Chief Executive Officer, MRS, explained will attract investors into the country.
We waste over $1 billion every year on the high sea. This particular terminal will save you at least $200 million a year.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, lauded the initiative and urged major petroleum marketers to emulate the feat.
Saves you lightering costs, it saves you discharge times, it saves PEF claims.
I think it's also an indicative of how much the national economy is gaining confidence in indigenous operators.
This means this raw material that has enabled the transportation industry to grow.
The event, which attracted stakeholders in the maritime domain, is expected to attract global participation while increasing the nation's gross domestic products. MRS Holdings Limited was founded in 1995. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The 2017 MIP TV Global Television and Digital Content Festival has ended in Cannes, France, with Nigeria poised to return to TV global market scene as a key player to be reckoned with. Anthony Forson reports.
As the biggest television fiesta that brings together professionals in the industry, it brought together about 11,000 participants from more than 100 countries, including Nigeria. The platform gathers the world's key producers, distributors, and buyers of television content. It also provides an excellent platform to gain insight and exchange views amongst participants, which gives room for multilateral meetings to discuss the latest business and content in the international television marketplace. Nigeria having been away since 2015, leader of the country's delegation, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says Nigeria must leverage on this global platform.
And the idea of this MIPTV is to create that forum for the media and the entertainment world, especially television and film, to meet and with other stakeholders, content producers, format owners, channel owners, in an attempt to further deepen the industries. We'll look at
to see how we can collaborate in implementing some of the policies that will take our information industry to a higher level.
Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, Ishaq Modibo Kawu, keyed in.
The pavilions put together by some of the Nigerian content producers, that in itself is an indicator of the fact that Nigerians recognize the importance of this marketplace as the biggest place for television content in the world.
Nigeria has successfully developed a vibrant audiovisual sector with an exceptional talent that makes the country proud at this global fiesta. In Cannes, France, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The Director General, Center for Black Arts and African Civilization, Dr. Ferdinand Anikwe, says the creative industry in Nigeria holds great potential for the nation's economy, especially in this era of economic recession. Dr. Anikwe said this when he led some veterans in the industry from the southeast on a visit to high life music legend Chief Mike Ejara at his Enugu residence. Chineye reports.
The visit was to further create awareness on the forthcoming 40th anniversary of Festac 77. The veterans, including Professor Lads Ekweme, Chika Opala, and Ezika Amadi, interacted with Chief Mike Ejara and reflected on the gains of Festac 77, which the Director General, Mr. Ferdinand Anikwe, said contributed immensely to the growth and development of creative industry in Nigeria.
The tendencies, the science, the philosophy, and the history that are embedded in languages are richer when you get it from the traditional realm.
Part of the mainstay of the economy in this country comes from the arts.
Nigeria is a potential land for arts and culture.
The government should invest in the movie industry.
Chief Mike Ejara, who recently turned 87 on the 4th day of April, was elated receiving his colleagues in the culture and creative industry. He relished on the good old days, stating that Festac 77 inspired his musical career. He also decried the negative effect of piracy on the creative industry in Nigeria. Activities for the 40th anniversary of Festac 77 is expected to kick off in Abeokuta next month. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
Now, the federal government has expressed its commitment to providing adequate quality and affordable houses for low and medium income earners in the country. Minister of State, Power and Housing, Mustafa Baba Shehuri, said this shortly after inspecting the 80 housing units under construction by the federal government in Minna, Niger State capital. Mary Noel Baraji reports.
Shelter, which plays a significant role in men's survival, has remained a challenge over the years in Nigeria, especially as it affects the low and medium income earner. To address the challenge, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari set aside 40 billion naira in 2016 budget to meet the housing needs of the people through the construction of mass housing units in the 36 states of the Federation. Inspecting the units, the Minister of State, Power, Works and Housing, Alhaji Mustafa Bala Shehuri, while expressing satisfaction with the level of work attained, explained that the federal government has come up with national housing models for each geopolitical zone, bearing in mind the people's cultural and climatic diversities.
I'm working with the standard provisions for social infrastructure, water, light, road, for all of these estates.
In his visit to the governor, Abubakar Sani Bello, represented by his deputy, Ahmed Mohamed Kitsu, commended the effort of the federal government in meeting the housing needs of the people.
We want that synergy in between the state and federal government so as to give us opportunity to even supervise, to make observation.
The construction of the housing units expected to end within a period of 6 months. At Mina, Mary Nepershi, NTA News.
5 more local government areas across Cross River and Benue states are expected to attain open defecation-free ODF status by the end of 2017. Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu said this at the celebration of Obanliku in Cross River State as the first ODF local government area in Nigeria. Musbao Danwahab has the report.
People of Obanliku are on the global spotlight. The local government of over 300 communities has scored the first in attaining open defecation-free ODF in the entire country.
Thousands of communities in the country that are ODF, that are open defecation-free, but a local government in totality, to have one complete local government that has every single community that is ODF-free, this is the first time.
Our children were dying anyhow because of cholera, diarrhea. We don't know that it's through our shit that we are eating.
We had a small mantra: community problem, community solution.
The executing agency, United Purpose, mobilized and the indigenes took ownership of the project to construct toilets in each household, which is the major prerequisite for the status. The Rural Sanitation and Hygiene Promotion in Nigeria, Rushpin initiative, has been instrumental. And the minister is optimistic that the P-Wash and National Roadmap for ODF will put many other communities in the country on this list.
It means that the approach that has been taken, the Rushpin approach, is working because we can see the success today.
So the world is watching. They're looking at what happened in Oberlinku.
The development partners believe this achievement, which has reduced the figure of 46 million people practicing open defecation in the country, point to the possibility of an open defecation-free Nigeria by 2025. From Obanliku in Cross River State, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
The attention of the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been drawn to resurgent attacks on foreigners in South Africa, resulting in the death of a Nigerian named Razak Ajao, killed by a mob on suspicion of his alleged engagement in drug peddling. Ajao, an auto mechanic, lived in South Africa, practicing his trade for over 10 years without any record of involvement with or in any drug-related transactions. A statement by Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Enikale, has said 5 other Nigerians wounded in the mayhem are receiving medical attention, with 2 already discharged. More sympathizers have continued to condole with the family of late broadcast icon Dr. Patrick Itiohe, who passed on Wednesday, April 5th, at the private hospital in Makurudi. Among them is a team of the management staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA headquarters, Abuja. Godwin Inalego reports that the team delivered a condolence letter to the family on behalf of the Director General of NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed.
The management staff include the Directors of Administration, Tunde Oluwatudimu, Engineering, Zekeri Ali, Multi-Channels, Nkechi Oduku, Training, Halima Biwell, and General Manager, NTA International, Walter Naji. They were received on arrival in Makurdi by the Acting Zonal Director, NTA Makurdi Network Center, Ohis Aigboche, who accompanied them to the family house of the late former Director General of NTA, Dr. Patrick Itiohe. Director of Administration, Tunde Oluwatudimu, who led the delegation on behalf of the Director General of the organization, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, expressed sadness over the demise of Dr. Patrick Itiohe and urged the family to take solace in the fact that he lived a fulfilled life. He prayed God to grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss.
We will remember him for his generosity, for his kindness to humanity, for the way he faced the challenges of the world eyeball for eyeball. With courage, we learned a lot from him.
Wife of the deceased, Anne Itiohe, appreciated the visit, saying it is a show of love and an encouragement to her and the family. In Makurdi, Godwin Inalibu, NTA News.
Now, you can watch this news online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Now, to the business of the day. There are increasing calls for Nigerians to patronize locally made goods and services. The calls became imminent because of the recession crippling business concerns. Nigerian-based manufacturers are being encouraged to produce quality products in the face of poor infrastructure, unreliable power supply, and lack of machinery and warehousing. Manufacturers complain bitterly about the high cost of operating their machinery, as such costs are reflected through higher prices of goods and services. Now, low-income earners, who constitute the majority of consumers, opt for cheaper products despite their low standards. In all, it is not uncommon for government to protect its local industries. But we will take a closer look at the situation after the break.
This is a happy moment for me and for all Nigerians.
Amina Ali Nkeke, the first Chibok schoolgirl to be rescued in the renewed onslaught against the Boko Haram insurgency.
Amina's rescue gives us new hope.
Federal government has formally received the 21 abducted Chibok girls.
These dear daughters of ours have seen the worst that the world has to offer. It is now time for them to experience the best that the world can do for them. Government will sustain the effort until all the remaining girls return safely.
When the kings of African comedy gather under one roof,
there is only one outcome. Then we bring down the roof. Come witness the craziest and the funniest, the oh my God, and the baddest of them all. Laughter will scatter your brain well.
Come watch the biggest names in African comedy at Glow Laughter Fest. Basketmouth, Bovi, I Go Die, Sheyi Law, Gordons, Salvador, Osama, Bash, Kenny Black, and many more.
You will never have a bigger gathering of jaw-dropping, whip-cracking comedians under one roof. One microphone, one network.
all over Nigeria. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I am gonna be there. I'm going to be there, live and direct, for the time of your life.
Will you? To win a free ticket, use 2,000 Naira in a month and text LOL and your preferred location to 240.
Oh, Laughter Fest. Laugh go kill you, die.
True.
Glow Unlimited.
Do you crave class? Do you have taste? And do you care about comfort? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com. You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956. Jade's Hotels. Welcome to life.
It is with joy that I've received Our Excellency's gifts.
I want to say that may God continue to bless and reward her. And so, on behalf of Garki Hospital, we are grateful.
So no be only government go stop Lassa fever. Now everybody go put hands together to stop Lassa fever. We don't the years once more to say Lassa fever don't use style resurface for some part of this country them. But the Federal Ministry of Health say make you no panic. Now so they clean our house all the time. We chase rats come out, and if rats don't vermouth for our house, Lassa fever don't come out be that. Lassa fever get two symptoms. One are early stages where they bring fever, sore throats, vomiting, diarrhea, joint pain. The second stage now bonge, now they cause bleeding from the nose, eyes, spectrum. It go even they make blood to the commode from private part, even cause swelling genital. Make we start to the shop rats. Anyway, we rat fit enter our house. Make we block her. Don't forget, say, division of the universal health coverage. That to see, say, everybody they can't pay. Our God President, one may worry, want everybody make we stand in the bar. Yama no good for us, so it invite her. Sweat where they come up from person where get Lassa fever. Fit transfer the disease from one person to another. If you suspect any fever, we don't treat it with better medicine and you no go quick, or you suspect any person where get Lassa fever, make you go any health facilities where they near you. Lassa fever must go. How of now go give them red card. Now, Federal Ministry of Health bring on this message.
Well, we thank you for staying with us on Weekend File up till this moment. And we will begin tonight's Weekend File reports from Ibadan, one of the oldest cities in Nigeria where development started. And from there, Kemi Oshin takes a look at consumers' perspectives and challenges of local manufacturers.
Findings show that about 222 small-scale indigenous businesses have closed down in the last 1 year in Nigeria, leading to about 180,000 job losses as a result of lack of patronage. This attitude of consumers and other limiting factors are some of the challenges facing industrial development in Nigeria.
The lack of implementation of government policies in this regard. If we follow that through and government indeed demonstrates the willingness, commitment to patronizing made in Nigerian goods, it will enjoy better patronage than we have.
The power issue is one of the major ones. Everybody knows what the power sector is talking about now. And majorly, there is no machine we can hardly operate without using power. So we will need the government to do something as per the power issue in Nigeria.
Although some are of the view that Nigerians love imported goods and services because some made in Nigeria goods are of less quality and more expensive. Experts say with collaboration between local manufacturers and government research institutes, international quality standards can be achieved at less costs.
That's the mandate given to all of us now to see how to start every production line so that we, one, take away a lot of Nigeria off the streets, because when you form a lot of cottage industries or processing industries, the Nigerians will be employed, and that will also add to our internal general revenue and contribute to the GDP of the country as a whole.
The prevailing economic realities, however, seems to be having a positive impact on the consumption of made in Nigeria goods and services as an alternative to the imported ones, which have gone beyond the reach of average Nigerians.
But by the time they know that, okay, I can't afford buying anything abroad,
You look for what suits you around you, you wear it, and you can use the remaining money to do something better.
It's not everything that is produced abroad that is good. We need to encourage local producers in order to boost our, to increase our gross domestic product. When we do that, we are contributing to creating employment.
Stakeholders have urged policymakers not to pay lip service to the issue, but provide the necessary infrastructure and technological support for the growth of indigenous industries. In Ibadan, Kemi Oshin reporting for Weekend File.
Now, the continuous importation of fairly used clothes and several others into Lagos has remained a major challenge, militating against the patronage of locally made goods in Lagos. Musa Toliat in this report takes a look at the implication of imported goods on the economy and steps to strengthen industrialization in the country.
Used clothes, otherwise known as okrika or tokumba goods, are common knowledge in various parts of the Lagos metropolis. The level of patronage of these used clothes over the years has remained to the detriment of local fabric industry. This is not unconnected with the cost of producing new clothes, which is often priced beyond the reach of low-income earners.
If you go for new ones now, they are very much expensive.
You can get everything you want here. That is why I came.
When you get the best, and that is okay for you.
I come this night and come and select some clothes for baby clothes.
The economy is worse off as a result of the development.
Discouraging importation is good, but competitiveness of what is produced locally is more important.
However, the prevailing economic reality has slowed down the business of importing fairly used clothes and home appliances into the country.
The exchange rate is high. At least this market now, we used to buy it in a amount that is affordable for us.
One key blessing of the weak naira, that the depreciating exchange rate, is that it has compelled people to look inwards, because it has become suddenly more expensive to consume what is imported.
Economic analysts and industrialists say there are fundamental issues to be addressed in order to boost industrialization, local production, and patronage.
For you to promote made in Nigerian products on a sustainable basis, beyond just the rhetorics or the campaign, we need to make the products competitive. And the ways to do this is to look at the cost of production, technology, the manpower, and particularly infrastructure.
In Lagos for Weekend File, I am Musa Toliat.
Beauty Ehobemium from the southeast, however, reports that local manufacturers say some debilitating challenges still stare in their faces.
Compared to what was obtainable in the past, made in Nigeria goods are beginning to gain wide acceptance as they have become preference for many.
Before, they see it as inferior, but because we've really upgraded, there's a very big change now.
People want to make money from the purchases and supply of materials. So because of that, they don't like to go for locally made ones.
From Ebonyi comes the report that increasing campaign by government to encourage Nigerians to develop appetite for made-in-Nigeria products is paying off, especially now that the country is facing recession. In Anambra, poor quality control by regulatory agencies and lack of consumer confidence in locally made products are set to be challenges confronting the patronage of made-in-Nigeria goods.
Authorities need to have better capacity that they can regulate.
What happened before is that made in Nigeria products, people used to see it as local made goods.
The commercial city of Aba, known as the center of production in the southeast, from where the name Japan of Africa is derived, issues of power and access roads still remain a major source of concern.
The campaign must be changed. You must be proud of these products.
Decisive action by government through the provision of an enabling environment such as power, good road networks, and soft loans for manufacturers, experts say, will place the nation on the path of true industrialization. In Enugu, Beauty Ehobemium, NTA Weekend File.
And our live discussion segment with a stakeholder on the need for Nigeria and Nigerians to take more pride in the production and the patronage of locally made goods is next. But first, let's have some more messages.
Following the approval of the whistleblowers policy by the Federal Executive Council and its launch by the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, patriotic Nigerians have been making inquiries on how and where they could deliver information that could lead to the stopping or uncovering of fraud to the appropriate authority and answers to frequently asked questions. The Federal Minister of Finance has therefore dedicated a telephone line for receiving SMS, a whistleblowers portal, and an email address through which members of the public who volunteer to disclose information about a possible misconduct or violation could deliver such information for the attention of the team dedicated to process such information.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to the country.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. Well, with me in the studio tonight is a stakeholder, one of them who have been making efforts to encourage the production and the consumption of locally made goods, especially by Nigerians, challenges and the way forward. He's the chairman of organizing committee of the Technology and Innovation Expo 2017. I'm here with Mr. Ekanem Udo. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you.
Now, how would you assess the performance of the manufacturing sector, from our independence?
At the beginning, it went so well, and with time, it seems it was deteriorating. That happened because something was missing, and what was missing was just one word: research. Those enterprises, those companies, they did not consider research as paramount. But I want to say that without research, indeed, no company can produce sustainably. That was the problem at the beginning. And now we in the Ministry of Science and Technology, we're making effort to bridge that gap. We're making effort to provide them that opportunity to ensure that their products that have been in the market for years undergo some degree of research. If not, with time, they must fade away.
Well, there is this issue of government using some kind of tariff structure to help the local industries when it comes to the competition that they are not prepared for. Now, what are those policy measures that government can use to redress persistent decline in the manufacturing sector?
One measure, I must state, is to continually provide those incentives. Yes, as you mentioned, there have been incentives provided for the manufacturing sector, but to what extent are they being implemented? If they're fully implemented, yes, but more of those incentives are still being needed by those manufacturers, because these are the group, they provide their water, they provide their power, and they must, and they too must take care of the environment that they operate. So with government incentives, more should be expected from this group of manufacturers. What government should do at this point is to enforce those incentives that have been given to these manufacturers. You see some cases, they will say 5%, 2%, but they're not being fully implemented. So what the Minister of Science and Technology is doing is to, once in a while, bring in people to talk about what government should do for them towards supporting research, towards supporting manufacturing, towards growing the economy. The one we just did now, that ended yesterday, brought in so many investors, brought in so many manufacturing groups, and we had 3-day session of side events to discuss what incentives government can provide for manufacturing sector.
Now, we are talking about manufacturing of goods and services, and we all know that manufacturers have been complaining bitterly on this issue, on the issue of not having a level playing ground, for them to really compete with the imported material. What can be done either to stop importation or to improve manufacturing? Because so many industries are closing down by the day. They may have done research, they have products in the market, but lack of patronage has made it difficult for them to be sustainable. So what can be done from the point of view of government policy that could redress the imbalance?
That can be done through encouraging those manufacturing sector, those manufacturers of goods and services to have, number one, capacity building around what they are doing. If you keep on relying on foreign experts to work for you, a time will come that these people must go to their own hometown. They must return to their base, and therefore, how many Nigerians participated in that business? In a situation where you have maybe in a company that employs up to 100 people, 50% will be foreigners. You don't expect that kind of business to strive after some time. What we encourage in science and technology is capacity building. Anything that you are doing, look inward. Anything that you are doing, employ Nigerians. Anything that you are doing, let local hands be available to support what you are doing. If not, like I said earlier, a time comes when these guys must go to their countries, and you must close down. So we encourage manufacturers to employ the indigenes. We encourage manufacturers to employ local hands and build the capacity. Those people that they employ from outside, other people build the capacity. So we must build our own capacity.
Now we talk about foreign investors. We keep calling investors to come and invest in Nigeria because the nation has enormous natural resources. Now, apart from some companies that are assisted by some foreign investors, there are local ones. We have a number of local manufacturing industries that are doing very well. Take, for instance, in the past, the textile industry, for instance, in Kaduna, has been doing well before the somersault that we are suffering today. So what could be done to avert such happening to other viable industries at the moment?
Those companies closed because there was no research. As I said at the beginning, without research, yes, you make progress today, but tomorrow you will not make progress. Because with research, you now see what are the needs of the society. With research, you now see what do I do to my product to make it competitive. By the time you keep on producing what you have been producing and selling, a time will come that you will be out of the market because you do not emphasize on research. You do not carry out any degree of innovation. You must produce, be in the market, watch the needs of the society, watch the trend in the market, and innovate your product towards meeting the needs of the society, towards meeting the market situation. You don't just produce because you have been producing, but you must produce to meet the needs of society. If not, they will abandon you. And that, I suppose, that was what happened in the past. No research to support production, no innovation to support production, and the local capacity, there was no capacity building, and there was no capacity built around the staff because they were all, after all, they came from outside.
All right, now let's thank you at this point, Mr. Ekanem Udo, who is the Director of Promotions at the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology. Thank you for being part of our program tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Now, what's going on in the world of sports? Our correspondent will tell us. Now, these and more when we return.
Let's pepper them. So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Timaya, baby. I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Talk. It's gonna be a mad over your 10. You're ready to win a show stoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
If you miss the stuff, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn it up.
will be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everybody who is anybody is going to be there. All Nigeria's A-list musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come.
Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour.
Glow Unlimited.
It's finally here. The most anticipated sports show on live television, featuring great sports icons from ex-internationals to famed journalists and administrators. It doesn't come bigger than the Sports Parliament. Be a part of the biggest sports talk show on television to help chart a successful path for Nigerian sports. 11 p.m. to midnight on Thursday on the NTA. Sports Parliament, where the eggheads converge.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The first triathlon holiday clinic set to hold in Lagos as the Actors Guild turns into focus on the physical fitness of its members. Details of these and more in Sports Update with Henry Efio.
The first triathlon school holiday clinic is set to commence in Lagos. The 3-day event is slated for the 11th to 13th of this month at the Slim Balogun Stadium. Organizers say it is part of efforts to develop the sport from the grassroots through schools. President of the Nigerian Aquatic Federation, Babatunde Fatai Williams, in a press briefing, said the vision of the Triathlon Union is to take the sport to the National Youth Games and Sports Festival.
Nigeria is probably paying severely right now for neglecting school sports for many years. If we don't get sports back into the schools and have sports based on schools, we'll continue to suffer at the higher level.
About 40 schools in Lagos are expected to take part in the triathlon clinic. The Actors Guild of Nigeria, Lagos chapter, is galvanizing its members to engage in regular physical fitness programs to check avoidable health-related complications usually experienced due to neglect. The initiative, which is tagged Nollywood OJ's Joggers Club, saw some of the stars taking part in some physical exercise at the National Stadium in Lagos.
I know there are a group of people that are very, very tired of the fact that we break down easily. Yes, I know there's fatigue. I know the workload is heavy, but no, you have to look after yourself.
I'm sure by the next one, by the time the bus goes round, the big names will start falling in, and it becomes something very big.
And in the English Premier League matches played Saturday, Liverpool has maintained its push for a top 4 finish with a 2-1 victory at Stoke in a live game of the weekend. Leaders Chelsea left nothing to chance as they secured a comfortable 3-1 victory at Bournemouth, while Tottenham's consistent pressure has not ceased as they trounced Watford by 4-0. Man City beat Hull 3-1 to remain in the top 4 as West Ham pipped Swansea by a lone goal. With Sports Update, Henry Efio, NTA News.
And next is a look at weather prospects for Sunday. before we go, a quick reminder that you can watch all our stories and much more when you log on to our website, www.nta.ng. And that's how we conclude tonight's edition of Weekend File. Next week, we will return with another interesting edition of the program. From all of us here, it's good night.
Entertainment, the first, breaking the news. We are Africa's largest network. NTA, Africa's largest network. Second to none. The first, the biggest, the best. Education, sports, authentic news, views. NTA. You can't beat the rich.
Thank you for having me.
The New Yam Festival, normally called Iriji or Iwaji, is an annual festival by the Igbo people of southeast Nigeria, held at the end of every rainy season. Traditionally, the eating of the first yam is performed by the Igwe.
Iwaju means the people have planted and there is plenty of harvest, successful harvest. So it's celebrated in our custom.
For the Igbo man, Iwaji Festival is always a time of reunion and recognition of worthy sons and daughters, while masquerades and dance groups add to the entertainment of the day.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay.
change begins with me. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh Gerula. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
The government sends you to catch a thief, and you catch security man.
Can we see your hawker's permit?
Me, I no go pay am for any hawker permit because I know they do a hawker.
They send you to say letter A, and you go and say letters A, B, C, D, E.
The signboard that bears the name of your hotel at the entrance of the street must be paid for.
Why? Is it your father's land?
Are you doing your work well by being overzealous, adding fear and hardship to the citizens, molesting them unlawfully? Tax and revenue is another hilarious episode of your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Bull. Government agents overdo tax laws. Citizens are ignorant of tax laws.
This is idiosyncratic and heterodox.
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
Imagine what will happen if selected intelligent Nigerian youths live together and brainstorm for 60 days with over 200 million eyes watching. Get ready, Nigeria. Something big is coming. Push.
Okay, sir. You may now go in for your interview. Thank you. Ah, my shoe. And to think I just bought this very expensive foreign shoe 2 months ago.
So sorry about your shoes. This is why I advise my friends to always patronize made in Nigeria products. See this shoe. It's made in Nigeria and I've had it for 2 years and it's still as good as the day I bought it.
Made in Nigeria products are good quality, and stringent government regulations and certification now mean the goods made in Nigeria meet international standards. Make the patriotic choice today. Buy right. Buy Made in Nigeria.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Hello, thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Saturday Night. I'm Thekla and it's always good to be here. Well, on this week's edition, we have quite an interesting guest. I've just been looking at her from the sideways. And it's so much I think I am quite going to be asking her because she seems like a very interesting personality. She goes by the name DJ
Toxic.
Toxic. But the real names, her real names, you know, when they brought her into this world, they gave her names. I don't know, these days, young ones, they're in the habit of making names for themselves. And her real names are Oribabor Ame.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
Ame for water.
Ame for water.
Oribabor
so
for
for that,
it's in
we
your
just
hands.
say Ame.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Oribabor for it's in your hands.
Okay.
So right now he's having life-size water in the studio right now.
In the studio?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fountain of what I'm saying here.
Human size.
Very interesting. So when I get thirsty, I just say, please, I want water.
Water, and it's in your hands already.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll come to you very soon. Let's just quickly roll entertainment tidbits. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
President of the Performing Musician Association of Nigeria, PMAN, has called on the three tiers of government to pay critical attention to the development of the creative industry. He stated during an interview that the sector is blessed with abundant creative talents that can be harnessed for economic development. Meanwhile, Tiwa Savage has been nominated as the lead speaker at the forthcoming 2017 Nigerian Entertainment Conference. Funke Akindele and her husband, JJC Skills, are said to have launched their own record label. 5 artists are signed onto the record label. Reports say the actress and members of the label released a music video to commemorate her husband's 40th birthday. Meanwhile, Mo Adeniro, a Nigerian singer who resides in the United Kingdom, has emerged the winner of The Voice UK Season 6. The 21-year-old singer left his audience spellbound while performing the song Unsteady. Mo Adeniro is Jennifer Hudson's mentee. Meanwhile, fast-rising Nollywood actress Modupe Oyekunle has passed away. She passed away while giving birth to her 3rd child. Late Modupe is popular for her role in the movie Ibi Giga. She's survived by her husband and children. And out to the foreign scene, Celine Dion's manager, who replaced her husband after his death, has resigned for family and personal reasons. He was the only manager other than her husband, Angelil, who died last year. Celine is said to be currently holding the stage at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas until 3rd of June 2017. And still talking entertainment, a documentary that tells the story of the tragic death of Whitney Houston will feature at Sydney Film Festival in June 2017. Also featuring is a haunting drama that has Cassie Affleck as a ghost under a white sheet and the screening of An American Werewolf in London. The festival is expected to commence on the 7th to 18th of June 2017. Media reports say Hollywood actor Harrison Ford will not be facing any legal charges for mistakenly landing a small plane on a taxiway at Southern California airport. The actor reportedly landed his plane on the taxiway, flying directly over a commercial jet. Enrique Iglesias has reached a career milestone. His hit single titled Bailando has reached 2 billion views on YouTube. According to the Billboard chart reports, Bailando holds the record as the longest running #1 song in the history of hot Latinx songs.
Well, we are back. That was entertainment tidbit. We'll still have
full life-size
fountain here
water.
with us.
Live here.
Ame, it's her name. Her surname is Oribabor. But we'll go with DJ Toxic.
Yo, it's DJ Toxic in the studio today. I'm somewhere in Edo State right now.
Whoa.
Go.
And she's actually a music artist and music producer.
Disc jockey.
Keep them coming.
Songwriter.
Go on.
Actress.
Very good.
Model.
Yes.
When I'm bored, I draw.
And a presenter as well.
Yes, that's why you want to be like my mentor now. You're my mentor for presenting. So I'm just going to be presenting very soon. It will add into the resume.
Okay, so what is that thing you won't catch yourself doing? Let's start with that question.
Dancing ballet.
Oh my word. I didn't see that.
Oh my God, you catch me dancing ballet. Maybe I did it when I was young. dance, but you can't catch me dancing ballet now. For now, maybe later. I might have that interest again. But for now, this bones are kind of like stiff for that.
Stiff or too flexible?
You know, ballet, the twisting and the turnings, man, you know, it's not easy.
But you know, break dancing, your body's already
break dancing is different. No, break dancing is bish, 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 as in pause and stop and move. But ballet is... Okay, I've been caught doing ballet now. I've been caught doing ballet now. Okay, then they have to look for another thing to not be caught doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you think that would be?
If I say it, I will do it.
Now, obviously, you are very, very, very eccentric. Has somebody told you that before?
That word is kind of big right now, eccentric. It might be easy, but yes, they've said it in different words. So. And I take it as a compliment because pure me, 100%.
Have you always been like this from childhood?
It was worse before, but now, you know, we're reducing it a little bit, you know.
When you say worse, what do you mean?
Because I was once, I used to play football.
Okay.
So you can just imagine how it used to be. I used to play football. I used to play football with the boys back in the days in Wari. And I was pretty good at it.
You know, say for your hair and a bit of makeup. I probably would. You just pass off as a guy.
I don't know.
Do you go out of your way to do this, or is just something that comes naturally to you?
It's something that comes natural, but I like to do more makeup on my face. But it's the one I know reach. Now then, I know reach. Now I stop.
Okay.
So, but you know, with time, I'm getting used to the whole makeup thing. But this is natural. It could have been worse, but you know, you just have to sometimes, you know. Just, you know, reduce it a little bit. But this is just 100% me. I love boots because they're easy to wear and easy to... I can actually go anywhere. Apart from tattered jeans, I can actually go anywhere with just my... It's just easy wear. I can go anywhere. I can go to the beach and dance in the sand without me bothering about my shoes getting stuck in the sand. I can do anything, you know. Just easy. I drive with my shoes on, so, you know. It's just something as I wear around.
Okay.
Bam, bam,
Hit and
bam,
run.
bam. Move, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Hit and run.
Yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Now, you know, like, you are from Edo State.
Yeah.
And sometimes you tie these two wrappers, you know, the double wrapper thing.
Oh.
Have you ever done it in your life?
Yes, I have.
I'm
not that strong, but
because even your movement, everything, your swag, everything is just
the movement is just swag. When I was in school, they used to call me Mama of Swag, you know. So maybe the swag is over swagging.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
All right.
But I like this outfit just being simple. But sometimes I still feel like I wear gown, I buy gowns, I wear shoes, I wear heels. It just depends on my mood. I can just feel like, but all the time, like 90% of the time, I feel like dressing like this. But then there's this 10%. There's this 10% I say, you know what, this gown final. If I wear with that shoe, oh God.
Okay, great.
It
now,
doesn't cut on in a dress.
Let's go into your music.
Okay.
You are into music. You produce, and you are also a singer.
A singer.
You do songs yourself.
Yes, I do.
So what kind of songs do you do?
I can produce any kind of songs. Someone asked me on Sunday, I think on Saturday, we went for Jesse Jack's listening party, and it was like, what are your favorite kind of songs? Like the songs that you like producing the most? And I said, my favorite ones, different from the ones that I produce in the most. The favorite ones are the ones that are challenging, the ones that I feel like I cannot produce. Like one of my friends, Rainy, he sent me a song he did, and it's challenging for me, but it's exciting. I'm excited to go back to my studio to do it because it's challenging for me. At the end of the day, those are my favorite kind of song because at the end, you make a hit out of nothing or out of something that is very challenging. And when you're like, TJ, now you want to do this one? I'm like, yeah. I want to, I'm confused right now, but I know God is in control, and I know it to be one of my favorite things. And it's coming up great. Those are my favorite kind of songs. Then the songs that I produce all the time are songs like mid-tempo beat dancehall. I grew up listening to Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, Fela, so all those kind of, and then rock music, pop rock music. So I infuse all those things in my music, hence Friends. You know, you hear the acoustic guitar playing, and my song Friends. Friends today with me the hard times. And you know, see, this guy listen to a lot of pop music, old school songs, just to mix them up. Even with, our own traditional music too.
Yeah.
So all those ones are they sweet me to do. I can be there from morning to morning doing it with a smile on my face though.
Whoa, that's nice. So
Yeah.
who are the artists you look up to in the Nigerian music scene, and then probably the world?
Okay, the ones I look up to, I think I respect Kiss Daniel.
Okay.
I respect him a lot. He has a fantastic voice, and I can relate to that. Husky voice, we're taking over. Now, our crack voice. Then I respect Vector. He's a fantastic rapper. He knows how to really say things and bring them into light. And then you have to really, really follow up, because the things he say, it's just like he's years ahead of, when you start listening to his old songs and be like, this is not what's in there happen now, So I respect Vector, I respect Olamide, I respect DJ Toxic.
Oh gosh, that's good.
Yes.
That's so good.
Thank you.
So good.
I never expect to say that one, Seth.
Yeah.
The spirit just is call your name.
No, because again, if you don't hone your skills, who will?
As in,
you have to start. You have to believe in yourself first before anybody else believes in you. And so, how long have you been in the music industry?
I've been in the music industry for quite some time, but I came to Lagos in 2014.
Okay.
And since then, I came to Lagos as a producer, so I've been working on my production as a media producer. That was when I had the opportunity to work with Pasuma. I produced the Abo. I produced the Ruka, the one he had with all the Nollywood Yoruba actresses in it. It was a beautiful video. I was part of that video too, so, and then Ogedetipo on the one he rapped. So I've been working as a producer, but last year, that's 2006, and I said, let me just drop this song. I got the inspiration 1st of January. First time I actually did not spend New Year's with my family. I spent with my friends, and we were there. And I know that the big feast is going on in Warri right now, but I did Lagos the hustle, man, and the hustle was very strong, and that gave the inspiration of friends. And I dropped the song because where I mixed the song, it was already an industry hit already. A lot of OAPs were already singing to the tune that came because I was working in 1004 in a reputable studio then. And then when they heard the song, they're like, oh my God, you sang this song needs to be out there. So I've been pushing friends, and as much as people are hearing the song is casting. That is blowing. Casting is very language for blowing. It's blowing everywhere. Even when I was in Houston, I performed it live there, and everybody really appreciated the song. I'm even going to be pledged to come back again to perform it again.
Okay, so we hold that thought for a moment. Let the viewers have a feel of Friends. Saturday night, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good times. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Good times. Magic City. Yeah, it's me again. DJ Toxic. Friends were there with me the hard times. Now you were there with me the good times. Yeah. Me say me love you. Me love you. All of my fans were there the hard times. They go join me for the good times. Yeah. Me say me love you. Me love. I remember the dark days. Oh, one. I remember the hustling. Now, I remember back then with the hustle and package. Make our fans when they say we the rain. So when a storyline ya place, them go say we they always represent. But it no easy, it no easy, when I share my load, come make them easier. So if you lost, you will look, you will still find there. Time after time. If you fall, I could catch you. I'm always here. Time after time.
All right, we are back. That was Friends by DJ Toxic. Why would you even give yourself that name, really?
Okay, when you said we gave ourselves the name. I didn't really give myself the name. It was like we would not finish, saying the things.
Just put it in few sentences.
I used to be a dancer before, and when I danced, it was intoxicating. So they used to call me Toxic A because toxic ame, So from there, I went for a competition. I was like, what's your stage name? Toxic A. So when I became a DJ in 2010, 2011, the title, DJ Toxic A. But it was too long, so we reduced the A. Say, hey, you know what, just go. We know you are Ame. It can't change. This is DJ Toxic. With a Q, for the Q that is playing, that Q in the song every time. Q.
Interesting.
Yes.
So you dance a lot?
Oh, I cannot even, if music they play for you now, I they boogie down. I'm not, no dolly moment with me. I don't even care who is singing, why I must dance. I love dancing. So I feel like it's the way I enjoy the music. That's the way I can be able to make the music for people to, the way you go to club and you dance, you're in your car, you're listening to music. It's the way I feel. I bring it out in my production, in my songwriting, in my performing, for people to feel it the way I'm feeling it.
Okay, so what will happen eventually? Before we leave the stage, you're going to do a bit of dance steps for me.
Oh my God! You want me to do it right now?
Prove it.
Prove it.
Yes. So once we are leaving the stage,
my body's
you are leaving. You're already jiggling.
I'm already jiggling to dance.
Okay, just hold the jiggle for a while. Let's ask a bit more questions before we. So now, music for you, did it come naturally, or was it something that you stumbled on by accident?
It came naturally, but I was avoiding it because I wasn't like a perfect singer when I was growing up. I wasn't the best of singers. If I open my mouth to sing, they're like, shh, because my voice was thick. It has always been this big, this grab. And anytime I sing, they always mistake it for a guy. I used to feel bad sometimes, but then I was like, you know what? There's Tracy Chapman, and she's doing well. People are still performing a song in auditions and all that. I'm like, okay, so whether you take, that's just me. Apparently, maybe I'll be the only girl in Nigeria singing like a guy. But I don't really have, because I write for guys. I write song for boys. I write song for girls. I write song for any situation, even jingle. I can even write song for this your program.